Good morning. So I promised that I would do a highlighting and contour video because it was requested. So I wanted to get started on that this morning before I got going because I was supposed to do it yesterday and ran out of time. So I haven't put anything on my face besides my moisturizer, so you can see what that looks like. I still have been struggling with this freaking spot over there, so I'll cover that up. But the reason why I didn't put my foundation on first is because I wanted to show you how to prep your skin. Sorry, my cat's trying to get into my coffee. I wanted to show you guys how to prep your skin so whenever you go to do this, everything looks smooth, everything looks flawless, you don't look like you have a lot of crap on your face. I'm just going to adjust this real quick. There we go. Okay, so before we get started, I'll show you how to prep your skin first. The first thing I do is I use a primer spray. So I'm going to spray this on, but then I'm also going to use this Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This stuff's really good. It is expensive, but right now they have a kit at Ulta that has like 3 different kinds that are travel size like this. And I don't use it every day, but if I want my skin to look like flawless, then I will use it. But I'm going to show you how, because a lot of people use primers wrong, and I just want to show you how to do it right. So I'm going to take this Makeup Revolution Pro Base Aqua Priming Base. I've been loving this. I gave it a shout out in my Holy Grail video. I've been using it like every day. It's great. And this is usually the only primer I really use. So I'm just going to spray my face with that. Let it dry for just a second. If you don't have time to wait for it to dry, you can take a beauty blender and just kind of pat it down. But what it does is it just creates a sticky kind of base on your skin. So when you put your makeup on, it just stays on, you know. So I did that. And now I'm just going to take this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And I'm really only going to apply it to the places where my pores are really visible. So that's usually like right in here. And then just a little bit here. So that's what I'm going to do. It just takes a little bit. Sorry, you'll hear my kids yell at each other throughout this video because that's what they do. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to put it right around here. Smashbox also has one that's called a pore filler. I don't really like that one as much because I don't know, you can just tell it's on my face. So this is also great at filling in all of the little fine lines and stuff. So you can kind of see it starting to like mattify my face in certain areas. I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin and then just right here. So you don't want to put it all over your face because it tends to make your makeup look cakey. Just apply a really thin layer just to fill those pores in. And I'm going to let that dry for just a second. And I'm going to go ahead and, crap, I always forget something when I do these. I'm going to go ahead and put on my It Cosmetics CC Cream. This is another thing that showed up in my Holy Grail video that I've been using a lot lately. I'm just going to do a couple pumps. Usually I put this on with a brush, but I left the brush in the bathroom, so I'm just going to have to make do with my beauty blender. So just dot that all over my face. Sorry, if I'm looking over here, I have a mirror handy. So I'm going to dot that all over my face. It usually takes like a pump and a half to cover my entire face. So I'm going to apply that now that I have my primer on and go to town. And I believe in my last video I did mention this, but when you're putting on your foundation or anything like that, in most cases you kind of want to pat it in. Hi, Rock. Because when you pat it in, it tends to go into the skin more and stay on longer. So you can see I'm putting that on now.
Are we going to Nani today?
Maybe.
Yay.
Why don't you go play so Mommy can do this?
And then we're going to go to Nani?
Yeah, baby.
Yay.
Bye. Go play.
Is she at the beach house maybe?
No, she's not at the beach house.
Oh.
We're all home this week.
Oh.
So you can see that really has already made my skin look really well. You can see where I put the primer on. Roxanne, I'm not. No, go now.
Oh,
No, go, please. Go play with your brother. Sorry, guys.
But he's in bed.
Okay, well, I'm trying to do this. Sorry, I had to get rid of the tiny terrorist. Okay, so I'm back. Every time I do these videos, it's like they know and they want to come in and like be with me. I get it, but hey, I'm not that exciting, I promise. Okay, so I have that on. You can see it covered most everything. The first step in highlighting and contouring is your concealer, because that's part of the highlighting process. So I'll start to show you. I'm going to use the Touch concealer that I always use, But I'm going to show you some different, well, one thing. When you're doing a cream contour, the concealer is already in here. So I have this one. It's the Bella Perrier Cosmetics. I actually got this from like TJ Maxx or Ross, because this was my first attempt at learning how to highlight and contour. I wanted to do a cream kit just because whenever you age, you tend to want to use more cream products because they're not as heavy and they don't look as cakey. So you can see I've dug into this a lot. But if you wanted to use a cream palette, then I would recommend using the colors that are in here to start your concealing. But I'm not going to use this. I just wanted to show it to you. It's just one option that you can use if you're doing this. And like I said, I recommend the cream type products for you know, aging skin or if you have dry skin. Although I still use powders. I mean, there's kind of pros and cons to both. I use powders because they're easier to blend and you can't really fudge them up because you can just work on it until you get it where you want it. Creams are a little bit harder to do that, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my concealer. And normally this process takes me like literally 10-15 minutes, so I know it seems like it's really time consuming and there's a lot of steps, but once you know the steps, it's real fast. So I'm going to put that in under my eye right here. I almost chopped my finger off at work the other day. So I'm going to put it in under the other eye here. Yeah, I was going through the little turn doors going into work and caught my finger in it, so almost lost a finger. So you want to go kind of in a triangle shape. Depending on how your face is shaped, you may want to come down more or like out more, but you want to come out slightly past the eye and just kind of work that in and like be really sensitive with your under eye. I know a lot of people are like digging it around, but that skin, especially as we get older, that's how it wrinkles, as people just beat it up. So just pat. That's all you got to do. Just a little pat, pat, pat. I'm going to put a little bit under my nose here, and then I have some dark spots I'm going to cover up, but you can also put a little like right under your lip here. If you put it down here on your chin, it tends to make your bottom lip look bigger because we will do some bronzer right under the lip to make it look deeper. So there's tricks to making yourself look any way you want to look. You can also come right down the bridge of your nose and up like this, and then what I'm going to do is just take that beauty blender and just kind of pat that in. And if you do it in this direction here, sometimes I'll go out first, but if you work in and out like this, it tends to help you from creasing under your eye. And I will set this with some powder, but if you don't like to use a setting powder under your eyes, that's totally fine. You don't have to. I like to, I don't do it every day, but if I'm going somewhere like to a party or somewhere I'm going to be there for a little bit, I will use one just because it keeps everything from creasing and it makes it pretty much stay put until you come home and wash it off. So gotta work that in, down the nose, up here a little bit. So you can see I'm already starting to look a lot brighter, which is great. So that's, like I said, it's part of the highlighting process. So I'll start to look much brighter. My skin looks, I mean, you can't even see any of my pores. I'm looking in the mirror here, but it's kind of nice whenever you do that initial prep because it really does make your skin look really flawless, even though I have lots of flaws going on right now. Okay, so I'm going to do one side of my face with a powder to show you what that looks like, and then one side of my face with cream products. Just before we get started, I'll show you some of the tools that I use. Whenever I'm highlighting and contouring, there's really 3 brushes that I use. I have 4 here just to give you some options. All of these are affordable, they're not expensive, so this first one is an e.l.f. powder brush. I like it, the end of it, because whenever I need to blend things out, it does a really nice job of that. And I've had this for like 2 years, and it was so cheap. It was at Walmart. This crown brush I got from an Ipsy bag, but the crown brushes are a little bit less expensive than Morphe brushes. But this one is specifically for contouring. It kind of peaks up at the top a little bit here, but it's rounded, so it's great for whenever you're doing your contour, just to kind of blend that out. If you want another alternative to that, Wet n Wild has one. You can literally get this at the Dollar Tree for $1. Yeah. But this is a great brush. It's tapered. It's specifically for contouring, and I use this one quite a bit too. You can see it's dirty because this was white. And then this Real Techniques brush, I use this for highlighting quite a bit, but if you want to deepen a contour, you can also go in and do that in a specific area just to make it a little bit deeper. So those are the brushes I use, all between, I would say, $1 to $6. They're not like crazy expensive. Sorry, that thing's like... Okay, so just to show you, and I won't use all of these, but I just want to show you that you have lots of options for this. You can buy a highlighting and contouring kit, but you don't have to. You can use all kinds of different stuff to do this. So I showed you that cream contour kit. I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. This is a powder one. They also have a cream one, but it looks very similar to the cream one that I just showed you. This one's powder based. The powders are really creamy, so they're not like a powder that would make you look cakey. But all of these are really nice colors. This one's an actual like highlight, so it's a little bit shinier, but I'll show you these in a minute. I'm actually not going to use this, but I'll show you what I do use. This Afterglow from Urban Decay, this is a highlighting kit, so you know, if you have a different bronzer that you really like and you only need to use a highlighter, this kit has all kinds of different colored highlighters for all different kinds of seasons depending on how white you are or how dark you are, so you can use that. I have a Physicians Formula bronzer that I got from a drugstore. Someone's in the bathroom or the kitchen destroying shit. So this is one you can use if you want. I tend to stay away from a powder that has a lot of like glitter in it, because you don't want to be glittery. You kind of want it to look like a natural like indent in your cheek. So if they are really shiny, I probably wouldn't use it for these purposes. There's the Benefit bronzer, the Hoola, which I'm actually going to use today on one side of my face. This is just the miniature. I am going to get the big one because I actually do like it. But this is another bronzer that a lot of people really, really love. It is kind of expensive, but you can find a lot of drugstore alternatives for that. Okay, what else, Danielle? What else? Oh, other highlighters. So this is my favorite. It's the Algenist Luminizing drops, and I'll put it up close so hopefully it will focus on it. Yeah. So I got this the other day when I went to TJ Maxx, but you can get it online. It's a little bit more expensive, obviously, because it is a higher end brand. But I really, really love these drops. They're like the best. And then I also picked up this Benefit highlighter that is still at Ulta. If you need to go get it, it's $10. But this one's also a really good like cream highlighter. So I will show you both. And then I'm also going to be using these two for the cream side, because these two products, they're by Benefit. It's the What's Up and the Quickie Contour Stick. You guys have seen me use these before, so that will be on this side. So I'll start off with the powder. So what you want to do, really, like what I'll do first is use this skinnier brush to kind of focus on the area that I'm going to go in. And what you want to do is like the end of your eyebrow right here is kind of where you want to stop when you're doing this. And you want to go from the top of your ear out like this. So whenever I do that, I just start working it in. You can go straight if you want like a more chiseled look, or you can kind of round it out if you kind of want to round your cheek out. So there's several different ways you can do it, but for purposes of this video, I'm just going to go straight like this and get that line in there. So you can already see it starting to chisel the cheek there. And then I'm going to take this crown brush, this round one, and kind of work it in. And you can just use one brush, but if you're starting out, you might want to start out with a thinner line and then kind of work it in, just so you don't make your face look like some brown stuff exploded all over it. So either way, so I'm going to deepen this up a little bit more, and then I'm just going to work it up into my hairline and just kind of blend it out like that. So you can see the difference. This is with no contour, this is with contour. So now what I'm going to do is take the bronzer and I'm going to work it into this part of my face here. And the reason why you want to angle it like that is it tends to make the face look a lot slimmer. So like here and here is usually where I focus that, and then I go across the top here. If your nose is not as thin as you'd like it to be, you can also go down the sides of your nose with a smaller brush and kind of work that in. So there's several different ways to do this, and I'm gonna have to hurt a kid again. Go, seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that here. And like I said, powder is a little bit more forgiving, so even if I put it on and it looks kind of heavy, it's something that I can work out with anything really. I can just blend it out with a brush and it will look better. So I'm gonna put that on there. Work it into your hairline so it doesn't look like you have like this dark stuff on your face, and then down a little bit. So you can see that side of my face looks a whole lot more chiseled than this side of my face. So that's the start. I do also go under my lip right here, just very lightly. You don't want to look like you got dirt under there. And then I also will work it along here and just kind of brush it down, just to kind of chisel out the fact that you have that there, and I try to hide my double chin. So yeah, so did that. So the next step that I'm gonna do is the other side, and I'm gonna show you how to do it with a stick. The sticks are a little bit better, like if you're on the go and you don't have a whole lot of time. So you'll need a stick and a beauty blender for this side. And it looks like I didn't put this down all the way. Oops. Okay, so same rule applies. And if you are scared at first, you can do little lines, or you can do a thick one if you feel more confident that you can work it out right. So I'll just take that line there and kind of work it up and out a little bit. And just kind of keep blending it until I get the look that I want. Again, work it into your hairline, start at the top of your ear, work your way down, and you can make it round or you can make it longer. So you can see how that looks. So it's very similar to the other side, it's just a little bit of a deeper look. So I'll show you that. And same trick here. I put a couple lines here, one across here, and I'm just gonna work that into my skin, up into my hairline. My face may look slightly funny since I'm doing two different techniques, but it's all good. Okay, so if you wanted, like I said, to make your nose look slightly thinner, you can also go down the sides of your nose here like this. I actually don't mind my nose, so I don't normally do this, but for purposes of this video, you'll work it down the side and just kind of work it down. See how that kind of carved out my nose a little bit more? And same thing, work it down the side, drag it down, and then you can do it around the tip if you want. So you can see that made my nose look a lot thinner. Yeah, so that's that for the stick. Now I'm going to show you how to do the highlighter. There's lots of options for highlighters. You don't even have to use a highlighter. I got this Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette for free whenever I made an order the other day, and I was actually really shocked by it, but it has a highlighter right in the middle of it. But you can also use lighter colored eyeshadows that are shimmer shades if you want. They're more finely milled sometimes than a highlighter, so they actually work a lot better. So this one is relatively cheap. It's a marshmallow colored highlighter, or that's what I like to say, the white ones you can see. So if you're a lighter complected person, that's the color you probably want to go for. I tend to use that color a lot more when it gets more winter. I still have a little bit of color left from the summer. A really nice drugstore highlighter that a lot of people even like better than the high-end stuff is Maybelline makes this Master Chrome. They have two shades. This is the Molten Gold, but they have a lighter color if you need a color that's slightly less, like, bleh. For purposes of this video, I'll go ahead and use this and show you this on this side, but then I'm going to use my tried and true on the other side. But you can also use this stick, and I tend to use this daily because it's a little bit easier. So for this, I use the skinnier brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. You can get it at the drugstore or whatever. You just pick up on this a little bit, tap it, and then you just rub it right along the top of your cheek here. Generally, you would put on a blush before you do this because sometimes I get a little too liberal with my blush and it's like super bright. So I'll show you that real quick if I can find it. I'll just use this one. So this is a Melania blush. So I'll go ahead and put this on both cheeks just to have them ready to go. I'm just going to use this brush here. So I'm just going to work my blush right over my highlighter. I tend to like blushes that have a little bit of shimmer to them, but you can use a matte blush too if you're going for that more matte look. So you can see that gave me a nice little pink glow. A trick I use too is I put a little bit of blush right in the middle of my face just to kind of bring all the color together. So that's that. So now I'm going to go in with that highlighter, the Maybelline. This is the golden color, so it's going to be a little bit more of a flesh toned highlight, but you can see how that is already like real glowy looking. And this is really the secret to looking like you have just the healthiest, beautiful skin. One thing I also do is, and you want to go where there's not a whole lot of pores, but I tend to put it a little bit over my eyebrow too, just to catch the light. It pretty much anywhere light catches your face, you can kind of pop that on there. So you can see that side's really glowy. It's pretty. I'll go down the bridge of my nose here and then kind of up into this area. So that's what that looks like as a powder. And then I'm going to show you these drops, which it really only takes like just a tiny tad. You just need a tiny little squirt like that. And what I do is I just tap my finger in it. I tap it along my cheek here. And then I take my beauty blender and just kind of pat it out like this. So you can see how shiny that is. Like, I just love how natural that looks. Like, it just looks like my skin is just luminous. So I'll take that too. I'll tap it like right up here a little bit. And then you'll put it right on your Cupid's bow right here, which at first it looks kind of silly, but it just catches the light and looks really pretty. So that's how you get that glowy look. If you wanted to, I've already done my eyes. I just did them really simple to make this video go a little bit faster. It's still super long, but you can tap it like right underneath your brows, especially if you want to kind of cream it out, make it look a little bit nicer. But that's kind of how you get that really, really glowy look there. So After I do that, one thing I didn't do is you can set your under eyes, but you really want to do it while stuff's still tacky. Flower Beauty makes a fantastic translucent powder. If you want to clean up the lines where you have highlighted and contoured and just make it look perfect, a trick that you can use, and I'll actually use this little thing for that, is go right up underneath it, like this, just under that line where you did the highlighting and contour, and it just kind of cleans it up and makes your cheek look even more chiseled. So you can do that if you want, and then if you wanted to set your under eyes with that, you could do that also. And when you set your under eyes, you just kind of pat it in like this, and again, this just keeps your eyes from creasing underneath and kind of sets that makeup on for the whole day. So you can see my face is like, hey, we ready, let's go. So that's pretty much highlighting and contouring in a nutshell. To set it, I'll use that same spray that I used when we started, and I'll just take it and spray it all over my face like this. And that kind of also helps with a powdery look because, you know, if you don't set it with something, it looks cakey. But whenever you take this and kind of work it in all over the face, and it dries, your skin looks like skin. It doesn't look like you have 10 pounds of makeup on. So that's, that is that. I will pop on a quick lip color just to kind of complete the look. This is just some Bare Minerals gloss. But if you're trying to achieve that I'm glowing and I have nice cheekbone look, this is how you do it. So you can kind of see what that looks like. This is the powder side, and this is the cream side. But overall, this is contouring 101. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to link out most of the products that I used and some alternatives if you're looking to get something a little bit cheaper to start out. And then if you want to buy the higher end stuff, honestly, I like the cheaper stuff. Some of the high end stuff's great too, but most of the time I end up liking the cheaper stuff. So hopefully this is helpful. If you like this video, please like it. You can share it on Facebook, but please also subscribe to my channel. Thanks, bye.